Hi, my name is Charlotte and today we'll be making tomato egg drop soup. Okay, coming. 10 out of 10. So firstly, we're going to start chopping the tomatoes. Just into wedges is fine. They don't have to be too big, just a good thickness. So here I have about 4 tomatoes. You can use 3 or 2, depends on how much you like eating tomatoes. Here I have 4. Okay, so once that's done, you're gonna transfer them onto a plate. And how I like to season it is you sprinkle some salt over the tomatoes. It just gives it more flavor, the juice more flavor. So once that's done, you're gonna let it sit there. So once you've finished washing your chopping board, you're gonna go ahead with your mushrooms. Just slice it is fine. It doesn't need to be too thin because if it's too thin, then it will probably break in the soup and you don't want that. So just rough chunks is fine. Okay, now we're done with the mushrooms. We're gonna set that aside and then we're gonna we're gonna cut our spring onion. Most probably recommended to not do it too thick, but just about the width of the tip of your fingernail is good. And then you're gonna pop that in another bowl. Okay, now we have to move on to the eggs. Probably one of the most important foods in our soup. We're gonna go ahead and break around 2 or 3 is good. So no need to season your eggs because it's just gonna go in the soup, which has enough flavor. Beat up the eggs. If you want, you can add salt, but that's probably gonna make it a bit too salty, so I recommend not. Okay, once that's done, we're gonna have you do the corn flour or cornstarch. This is about 1 tablespoon, heaped tablespoon of cornstarch. 2 tablespoons of water to the cornstarch and just mix that in so that there's no chunks left. Okay, that's done. Now we're gonna go over to the pot. Okay, so now we're over here. We're going to start by heating it up. High medium is okay. Now we're gonna get some vegetable oil or sunflower oil and about a tablespoon is good. Yeah, that's good. So this is minced or chopped garlic. So you're gonna put in about a tablespoon of that in. Then you're gonna go ahead and mix that. So once that's mixed in and the pot is now hot, you're gonna get your tomatoes and you're gonna put them in. So now you're gonna turn your heat down and then you're just gonna mix in the tomatoes. Now you're just going to leave it there until it gets pretty soft. Okay, so now it's a little bit mushy and soft. You're going to mix it in with the garlic one more time, and then you're going to grab your mushrooms. Toss it in there and then put it on high heat. If you want, you can put in more garlic to really get that flavour going. Where'd my spoon go? Oh, it's in here. Okay. Pop that in there and just mix it. So now my mushrooms have quite slightly browned. You're going to turn it down, the heat down. Then you're going to grab one of your favourite stock. Mine, this is chicken stock. You can use bone broth if you want, but I don't know how to make that. So today we're using chicken stock here. About a carton or 6 or 7 cups is good. So there's a carton of the chicken stock done. Turn the heat down a little bit and then you're just gonna mix it in. Now to season this up, you're gonna put in a little bit of soy sauce. About a tablespoon is good. It just keeps the soup going. So now you're just gonna let it sit there. You can use a lid to cover it up. Just let it sit there on low heat for a few minutes. So once you've let it sit, you're going to put in your corn flour. It just thickens it up so it has that nice texture. Mix it up. Done. Turn it up to medium high and then you're going to cover it up. Wait for it to get warm, boil, so then you can cook the egg very well, because if it's not boiling then the egg will just sink to the bottom and then it will get stuck to the pan, so it will just be tomato and mushroom soup. So now you want to stir occasionally. Make sure you stir every 2 or 3 minutes so that nothing gets stuck to the bottom. Okay. So I have 4 bowls. And then my one, because I'm gonna have the most. Okay, so as you can see it's boiling. Give it a stir. Turn it down to low heat. And then you're just gonna get your egg, and you're gonna make like a vortex kind of thing. This makes it like that loose texture. So you're gonna and then you're just gonna pour it in. Now you're just gonna let it stay there so that it cooks, and then so about 30 seconds to wait, and then you can mix it. Then it gives that nice texture. So once that's done, you're gonna go ahead and mix it. And as you can see, the egg looks now like white wispies, which is the way that you want it to be. Now once that's done, you're gonna season it with some salt and pepper. Oh. Okay. Okay, so about that much pepper is good. Mix it in. Now once that's done, you're gonna sprinkle in your spring onion, about a handful. done. There we have it, tomato egg drop soup. So I have my dad with me to test. Big chunk of egg for you, Daddy. No, that's my spoon. There. Out of 10.
Right.
Okay, try it. What? Here, Dad. So there you have it, tomato egg drop soup. Out of 10. So these 3 tanks are my dad's. The one at the end is only mine. He spends most of his time doing this end work. Yeah, he buys all these fish to help clean, and yeah, so he doesn't do as much work, so that's why there's a lot of fish. And recently we had this I don't know, but it just killed all the fish in this tank, but only the guppies, because this tank was originally just for guppies, but then they all died for some reason. Well, there is, but there's some guppies that my dad bought again, and there's some baby guppies over there, and he bought new ones. This tank was originally my fighting fish tank. Well, it had my fighting fish tank, but then but then he died of old age.
Oh.
So then he just overtook it. So now it's fully his with all his fish that he bought. And then this is my tank. That's my fish there. His name is Fire. And yeah. And yet just yesterday night, he disappeared, gone. My dad saw this happen. I think he was down there, but we couldn't see him at all. Even my dad said he couldn't find him. And then he just appeared again when he wasn't looking. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Oh, there you go.